Okay, hi guys. So we just finished lab 4 today on multiple view controllers and segues. And Matt and I saw some common mistakes that many of you may run into later down the road when you're building up your own applications. So this video is just a compilation of things to look out for. So for the first common mistake, once you make a new view controller, you need a Swift file to write all the code for that new view controller. So when you're making this new file, a Cocoa Touch class, make sure the subclass of is UI view controller. Often, by default, it is set to NSObject. So make sure it's UI view controller instead. And this way, when you make a second view controller class, it will load in the correct class and UI view controller for you. So the second common mistake, when setting the class name for a view controller or doing the embedding over here, make sure to click on this top bar instead of the center of the view. Especially when you have a background image, when you click the center of the view, it'll give you the class for the UI image view of the background instead of the view controller, which you actually want to edit to add the custom class. I may make a short little video on how to add background images and constrain them because I think many of your apps will be using that. Okay, so third common mistake is if you guys have stack views, which I highly recommend once you begin building your applications. I can link the video about them in the description. It was from a previous lab. If you have stack views, it can be really easy to make a mistake when you begin linking them to your view controller. So for example, in this waitlist application that we looked at today, there is one giant stack view. This is a vertical stack view with the will you get off the waitlist text, and then all these slider elements, the labels, and the calculate button. And to make IB outlets for these elements, it's so easy to accidentally create outlets for the stack. Oh, this is the second view controller. But for the first view controller, it's really easy to accidentally make an outlet for the entire stack instead of usually you're targeting a label. Like when you're moving the slider, you want to change the value of this number label. So you can drag from this side over here. This way you can't mistakenly connect the stack view. Hopefully that saves you some trouble. Okay, the final common mistake is that when you perform a segue identifier within an action, first make sure you have the identifier within the attributes inspector. And when you're calling this identifier in your view controller, the identifier has to be in quotation marks because with identifier, this takes in a string. And sender is self because whatever calling it, in this case, the calculate button, will be making the request. Okay, I hope this helps. Bye.